Hi guys, it's Ryan from leprivatebanker.com. Just going to do a quick recap for the day today on crude oil. Pretty amazing day actually. End of the month, end of the third quarter of 2014, and just had this huge sell-off today. Just going to run through what I saw off the open. So off the open, all the way back up here. And we opened inside day, as you can see. So we opened inside day. We had a nice up day yesterday. We sort of had this breakout above this 94 level. So the next sort of levels which were to break above were this this sort of 94.80 and this 95.60 sort of area. And as you can see, the market opened. We auctioned above the previous day's range. We came into these higher time frame moving averages, and we just found responsive sellers here. You can see this. If I just make it bigger, you can see this accumulation up here. So the market opened. We see a vacuum up to our area, and you can see this accumulation of the volume bars. If I just quickly show you on the footprint. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so you can see here, we see this vacuum up, and then we see all these resting sell orders at these highs, and there's accumulation, and then we see some aggressive selling starting to come in. So we see aggressive selling coming in. You can see the sellers on the bid here bidding into buyers, and you can see the accumulation as they're bidding it, and then we just see this they just kept bidding it down back into the previous day's range. So just off of the open, that was just a good heads up with this absorption, and then on the tape there was bid down, so you can see the orders getting filled as they start to accumulate lower. But anyway, like I said, so going into the day today, there was two expectations, and if we had opened gap up, then we would have looked for a go no go trade and rejection of the previous day's range. But we opened inside day, so the first expectation is for the market to be rotational until shown otherwise. So as I said, the market auctioned above the previous day's range, so we try to sell the market back into range, and that's the first tactic I took on the market today. So as I said, we auctioned above the previous day's range. We see the accumulation. We came up to this support, so I started to establish a position of this 94.80, which is a support level you can clearly see I had marked up here. If I bring over my 30-minute sort of candlesticks, you can see that the market just, as we opened here at 9 o'clock, where is it? So here's 9 o'clock. The market literally spiked up to my entry level, and in this occasion, obviously the stops just come above the overnight high. We don't want to see this. We want to see. We could have seen a stop run. My stop was above anyway. So what we would have seen if the market was to break out, is we would have seen a breakout. We would have seen the stops run above the overnight high, and then we would have seen rejection of the range, and I would have been wrong, and then I would have looked for an imbalance to the buy side to long. But in this instance, as I said, we opened up inside range. So the first sort of tactic on the day is to try to sell this back into range with the context in play. On the weekly, we were seeing a slight imbalance starting to happen here. So it was touch and go, but as you can see, we came up to the 1.5 standard deviation, and we were rotated straight back in and headed towards the mean. So this was just a heads up that I was right. If I was wrong, then we would have broke that 1.5 standard deviation. We would have broke above this 94.90 and would have headed higher, and we would have continued with the imbalance to the buy side, and I would have looked to establish a long position. But as I said, the first tactic was just to sell this back into range. So we was we have a very rotational month this month from the developing values, you can see, and we auctioned higher to this previous month's developing value area high, and we have a very, very established value for this month. And as you can see, we was at least in the, so it's going to be the first, we're going to at least be in the second 2.5 standard deviations away from the mean here. So the market was looking oversold. So unless something changes here and we see a breakout, the expectation is to see reversion to the mean and the other side of value. This whole day we went from one side of value to the other on the month, so very, very, very wild day today, and just impressive actually. I've been trading for sort of 5-6 years, maybe longer, and lose track of things, but this is probably one of the biggest pit sessions I've seen in crude oil. We had a I think it was nearly 400 ticks today. Yeah, so 399 range on a day today for crude oil. So in the pit session, so very, very impressive day today. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So off of the open, I sold this back in, so I started to establish a position off this higher, and then we see the market sell off, which was great, and then we see an imbalance form. So immediately start to target yesterday's mean and the other side of value. I mean, this has become a support area. 94,350 was a support area until it got broken. We sort of auctioned down to the other side of the weekly developing value, and we did start to see some accumulation and buyers step in here. But you can see someone stepped in, they sold the market down, and we just see this imbalance start on the week. We auctioned all the way back into last week's developing value, which we rejected off of the open yesterday, and then we just see a destination trade from one side of last week's value to the other, all in one day today. So as I said, just very, very impressive day. I mean, I didn't catch all this. I just didn't expect this. I sort of targeted the other side of value, and then I held on to my runner until we see this flush below yesterday's lows, and I got out. And we just kept going. The market was becoming so imbalanced, we started to reference literally outside the 1.5 standard deviation for the whole of the rest of the day here. So, and the market is literally just one time frame down the whole day. I mean, just huge day. I mean, just one time frame in the whole day down. Literally, I mean, we broke the one time frame in J period, but I mean, we didn't really go very far. So, and there was no reason for you to get long or try fade this market once the market showed the imbalance that we saw off the open today. So, just very impressive. I mean, we literally saw a whole standard deviation move on the year. I mean, we tested the mean for the year, and we auctioned all the way down to the developing value area low. So that's one whole standard deviation on the year that we did today. We see that sell off today. So just a very, very impressive sell off, as I keep saying. I mean, I'm quite frustrated I didn't catch this whole move. I mean, once we see this outside day start to hold, then we literally could have just trailed stop inside value, and I probably would have caught the rest of this move, which was almost another 200 ticks. But I mean, I already had like a nice day, so there was no reason to push stuff after this, and I just called it a day once I got my final target filled here. But just like I said, very, very impressive day here. So, I mean, on the other hand, if we'd seen this come back into range and then it bounce off and auction higher, as I said, I would have been stopped out, and then we would have seen probably an imbalance to the buy side, and I would have established a long position. But in this current context that we had off the open today, the first thing to do was to sell this back into range, and especially back to these fast time frame moving averages that we've been trading around and chopping. So what's another thing that's interesting is we literally see 6 days of one time framing up, and then today we just blasted through all the stops all the way down. So anybody who got long here, they all had to liquidate. Anybody who was long and they put in stops below the lows, they all got flushed out today. So pretty much the last 6 days of one time frame has been taken out. I mean, at least the last 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, we just came down and flushed all them buyers out of the market now. So who knows what's going to happen here? We've got the start of a new quarter. It's the end of the month today, so we're heading into the fourth quarter. We're heading into October, and we'll have to see what happens here. But looking like we are going to try head south, possibly take out this sort of $90 a barrel and possibly auction lower into support. Just have to see what happens here. Obviously going into next week now, but we are looking quite bearish at the moment. Just have to see what happens. Just taking every day as it comes, using market generated information to trade the markets. Let the market show you what it wants to do. I think I'm going to just leave it at that, and hope you had a good day and you didn't try fade this move down. And if you have any questions, please ask, and catch you all on the forum. Take care and goodbye.